And let's look at this. 3x plus 7 equals x minus 5. The biggest difference here is that, as you can see, we've got this same variable, x and x, but they are not together. So what we want to do first, step 1, is to put like terms together. Now you remember what like terms are. And by using opposite operations, and again in the opposite order of bedmass. Okay, and then step 2 would be to isolate the variable. Okay, so let's start with step 1. All right, I've given you the explanation. I want to put the like terms together. You can choose which side you want to put the like terms. I am going to choose to bring some of these overboard, the x to this side. So I will use, bring this x over first. Okay, and so now I've got 3x, and the opposite sign is minus x equals, and I will bring this one to this side. And what I have here is negative 5 minus 7, because I'm using the opposite operation. 3x minus x leaves me with 2x, and that gives me negative 12. And so now to isolate the variable, 2x is equal to negative 12. The next thing would be to divide by 2 on both sides, and this results with x equals negative 6. There we go. Now, let's check this and make sure we did it right. So step 3 would be a formal check. Check. Okay, so let's do step 3 over here. And I'll just write step 3 over here. So we have x is equal to negative 6, and what we're going to do is plug it into our equations. Well, into our equation here, the left side, and then the right side is x minus 5. In this case, we have 2 places where we're going to replace the x by negative 6. And 3 times negative 18 plus 7 is negative 11. So we're hoping to get negative 11 on this side too, to make sure we're correct. Negative 6 in brackets again, minus 5, negative 11. The 2 are the same, and we have done a good job. And there you go. Sometimes students say, well, this is not the same as that. Well, the reason that is because when x is equal to negative 6, it satisfies this equation, making both sides equal the same thing. And what is that? It's negative 11. And that's what that means. Let's try another one. Now, here we're going to add a step. What we're going to add is step 1, which is before what we did in the other question. We had step 1 was to do the opposite operations, etc. Here, before we do that, we must simplify both sides. In this case, the right side needs to be multiplied and using distributive property. So here we go. 3x minus 9 is equal to 2x plus 6. And now we can bring our variables together. Okay, so the 2x, I'm going to bring it over this side. Let's use orange like we did before, this side here. And this one I'm going to bring over here. And the way I do that is to do the opposite operations. So 3x minus 2x on this side is equal to 6, and then plus 9 on that side. And this leaves us with x is equal to 15. Now we want to make sure that this is the correct answer. So let's do left side, right side again. And we got x equals 15. We don't want to forget that. Okay, and so left side and right side. And so this we're going to replace with the 15 minus 9. 3 times 15 is 45, minus 9 results in 36. This is 2 in brackets, and again I'll put a little bracket just so that I don't make any mistakes. And BEDMAS says to do the brackets first, and we're not solving for the equation here, so we're going to use the actual order of operations, and so that means do the brackets first. 15 plus 3 is 18, and then when you multiply, you get 36. Okay, and so we did it. Well done. There we go. Okay, let's try another one. This will be the last multi-step one. So let's make this one challenging. And if you can do this, then you have really understood how to solve for any variable. One step, two step, multi-step. And so again here, if you notice, we've got some brackets and we need to simplify both sides. So let's start by doing the distributive property here. It's a complicated one just because there's more steps, but it's not any more difficult. Negative 3 times 3 is 9, negative 9. Always be careful with your signs, always. And then here we've got 2. Now this, again, is negative in front of a bracket, which means we are multiplying everything inside by a negative 1, which means the signs will change. This becomes negative 3x and negative 4. Now let's simplify if we can on both sides, on either side. If there are like terms that can be collected, let's do that. These are like terms here, and then these are like terms here. So negative 6x minus 9 plus 1 is negative 8. And then 2 minus 4 is negative 2 minus 3x. Let's get the x's and the numbers on the opposite sides of each other. Let's bring him over, and let's bring that one over there. And so now I have negative 6x plus 3x, because I've got to use the opposite operations, negative 2, and then plus 8. This results with negative 3x, and this results with 6. Now to isolate, I'm going to divide by negative 3. If there's a negative in front of a number and your variable, you must divide by the negative that number. So negative 3, negative 3x is then equal to negative 2. Now we really want to make sure that this is correct. There's a lot of steps here. And so by checking, you can see if you did the correct thing. If you find that your answer after checking is wrong, one side is different than the other, then we need to find out where we made our mistake. Let's see if x is in fact negative 2. If it is, then it satisfies this equation. So x is equal to negative 2 is what we said, but we're not certain. We want to check this. So left side, negative 3 bracket, 2 times negative 2. Again, I use brackets because I don't want to make any mistakes. I can make a bigger bracket so that I don't get confused with which ones, plus 1. Okay, now I had said write the original, and I didn't do that. So let's write the original. It's very important because you don't want to write something different than what that was given at the very, very beginning. Otherwise, you're checking something that you've already made a mistake in. You don't want to go further than the original equation. So now I will use a big bracket. I will put 2, -2 plus 3. And that is -3 in bracket, because bed mass, -4 plus 3. -3 times a -1 gives me a +3. Now let's hope we get a +3 on this side. Otherwise, we've done a lot of work. We have to find out where we went wrong. Minus. And then I'm going to put a big bracket again. 3, -2 plus 4. That's 2 minus 3 times -2, -6 plus 4. And 2 minus -6 plus 4 is -2. And that gives us 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. There's a problem here. These are not the same. And then I realize there's something I didn't do. Remember when I said write the original equation? I forgot to add this one. So let's add it here. And then here, and then here, and then here. And then if I add it here, I do get my 4, and we were correct. Okay. So I've just proven to you that not writing the original equation, the original sides, can cause you problems. But we figured it out, and there we have it. Okay, so this is all. If you can do this, you can do any multi-step equations. What we want to do now is those with fractions.